As you can see, that made a pretty good etch there. We're going to do this side in a minute. I think the next thing is the other fingernail polish method. Just like this, where I painted this whole blade. I'm going to do this. I've just used the same stencil over and over again on all of these, just to make it simple. I like pigs, so I'm going to put a pig on this little, template knife I have. So let's get started on this. Y'all see that? Make sure I'm in frame here. Okay. Just going to go ahead and turn the battery charger back on. Now we're going to start etching. And you see right away, and it's already starting to discolor. That's a good thing. It means the etching is taking. You can kind of rub this around if you've got a big area. Just make sure you get it all evenly. Anyway, this is actually the fingernail polish method, but with actually using a stencil. Get a little more solution. And you see it gets very hot. Alright, I think that should be good. So we'll go ahead and clean this off. And see how it looks. And see it starting to reveal a little bit there. Just going to refresh my cotton pad. Another problem I have with the nail polish, it's like I said, sometimes it loses its grip. And they'll show you sometimes the solution can get underneath that nail polish. I don't know if you can see it, but right through here is some corrosion that I didn't want there. It's very light, you can get it off. But if you can avoid it, that's for the best. So that actually came out better than I thought. Little pig, let me in. So the last one I'm going to show you is again the stencil, and I make my own stencils. This is just painter's tape here, and you can't see it, but all over this blade with the exception of the inside of this stencil, is clear tape. Just clear tape to mask it off. So we're going to go ahead and etch this, and this is going to be the last etch of it. We'll go ahead and get this going. This is the way you can put any of your own logos on the blade too. There are a bunch of commercially available stencils that you can use for this. There are stencils that are specifically made for this knife etching process. I can't afford them, so I don't use them. I just make my own. But if that's the route you want to go, please do. You might get better results. I get just fine results doing this. So this is the way I do it. If I could afford commercially made stencils, they'll last a lot longer, and I would use them without a doubt. You can just Google, you know, knife etching stencils. There's a ton of them out there, guys. They're really not that expensive, and they last a lot longer. You can reuse them. Just give this a little bit of a clean up, see how we're doing here. Alright, that looks like it's going to be good. Let's turn our etcher off here. I'm just going to peel up this tape, and this blade is very hot, by the way. If your hands are sensitive to heat, I would suggest wearing gloves. Mine are not, so I do not. There we go. Again, I just want to make sure I say it good, that I make my own stencils. This is just painter's tape, and then I've cut the design out in it. This does leave a little residue on your blade using this tape, but it's nothing a little acetone won't take off. And as you can see, and the reason I prefer this method over any other is because of how clean it is. There's no I'll say overspill, for lack of a better term. I didn't etch a part of the blade that I did not want etched. Let's go ahead and get this adhesive off of here. There we go. Dry it off. And this is got a pretty good etch on it, guys. Right there, you can see on this punch dagger, we've got ourselves a nice porker. It came out very good, and this is why I prefer a stencil method as opposed to any kind of nail polish. You can see the tape didn't peel up while I was etching. It didn't let anything bleed through, so you have a really good clean etch. So this has been CamoKing, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask in the comments. I always answer. You know, if you like what you see here, give it that thumbs up. And don't forget, for more, you always need to subscribe. Thanks, guys. Have a nice day.